How to start your own Amazon FBA private label business for beginners, step by step. And this is focused towards UK sellers, although this can be applied to pretty much any Amazon marketplace in the world. So let's go through this. There are 40 steps to go through, and I know that sounds a lot, but if you give me 20 minutes, hopefully you'll have the basics of a business model that could potentially change your life. So step one, let's get straight into it. I want you to set up a limited company. And the good thing is this does not need to match your brand's name for your product. So you don't have to spend hours thinking about this. It can be completely unrelated. Step two, use a suitable business address. And by suitable, I'm saying avoid using your home address, as you don't want potential customers to be able to find out that address. And also Amazon and the HMRC are cracking down on virtual offices, as a lot of them aren't suitable for VAT registration, which will come at a later date if your business is successful. Step three, open a business bank account. You are free to choose whoever you want. I've included Monzo there, as they are very, very easy to open an account with, and I've recently used them for one of my accounts. Step four, open a professional Amazon account. So the reason I've got this at step four is you want your limited company and your business bank account open first. Otherwise, things become a lot more complicated if you try and transfer over from sole trader details to a business at a later date. So open a professional account. You do not want an individual account, as on an individual account, you can only sell up to 35 units per month, and you're going to be selling a lot more than that. And also you can't run PPC, so you can't run ads for your product. Now, any of these steps where you see this little blue play icon, on page 2, there is a list of other YouTube videos which go into each step in a lot more detail. So this video will talk you through everything you need to do, and then these ones go into the nitty-gritty of each individual step if you need those. So step 5, change your account settings. So as soon as you opened your Amazon account, there are a number of settings you're going to want to update on day one. So this video talks you through all of the settings that you're going to want to go in and change. Step 6. Now, you may want to start at step 6 before you do anything else. A lot of new sellers, they want to find their first product before they commit any time to choosing a company name or opening a bank account and stuff like that. So it's absolutely fine to start with step 6 and just focus on finding your first product. So if you find that first product, you're going to be very motivated when it comes to doing everything else. And I've got 3 play icons here, as there are 3 videos on the next page that show you all the various aspects of what makes a good product and how to find those products as well. In brackets here, I've got aim for a product that sells between 100 to 300 units per month. So you don't want to aim too low, as it's just not going to be worth it. And if you aim too high, like 500 or 1,000 units per month, you're going to need a huge budget to be able to afford the inventory you're going to need to be able to launch and sustain that product. And I've put at a minimum price point of £20. As below £20, with all of the fees that are involved with Amazon, it's very, very difficult to make a decent profit. So if you're selling a more expensive product, you've got a better chance of making a decent return. Step 7, contact suppliers via Alibaba.com. So we're going to be sourcing via Alibaba, and asks for DDP costs. So there are many ways that you can ship to the UK. You've got DDP, you've got EXW, you've got a number of others. But it makes it difficult to compare costs if you're getting different shipping terms from different suppliers. So for most new sellers, just ask for DDP, as that includes everything. That includes your customs duty, that includes your freight, that includes your VAT. All of that is covered. And with each supplier, we want to check the MOQ. So what is the minimum order quantity? What is the smallest amount you can order with that supplier? What customizations can they make? And also their lead times as well. Step 8, this is a step that so many new sellers overlook. Check your profitability and double check it. I've got 3 pieces of criteria that I want you to hit, but the first one is most important. Aim for at least £7 profit per unit. 80% ROI, which is your return on investment. So if you're investing £10, you want to get your original £10 back plus £8 on top of that. And then 30% plus margin. So if you're selling at £20, you're going to be aiming for about £6 or £7 of profit to hit that 30% plus. And these targets are excluding PPC costs, as you are unsure as to how much you're going to be spending on PPC. You won't know this until you launch your product. So by having a nice big buffer for at least £7 per unit, that puts you in a very good position to make decent money further down the line. Okay, moving on to step 9. Buy 3 to 5 competitor product samples from Amazon. Test and compare and create your draft specification. So why are we buying competitor products from Amazon? What you don't want to do is contact Alibaba suppliers and start ordering samples from them straight away. If you do, it's probably going to cost you about $100 per sample to do that, when often you can get the exact same product from a competitor on Amazon who's already selling in the UK, and you can get that next day. So that's going to save you an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money. And you can use those competitor samples to form your own product specification, so that when we go back to those suppliers at a later date, we can then get samples that are much closer to our final spec. So we're not wasting a huge amount of time or money getting basic samples and then a second round of samples. We then move on to step 10, which is product development and differentiation. So once you have those competitor samples, you'll get a really good idea straight away. As soon as you've got those products in hand, you'll be able to see obvious flaws with those products. You can also go through the negative reviews of those product listings as well, and you'll get some good ideas on how you can develop those products further. And there is a video as well that gives you some other ideas to think about as you are developing that product. But keep in mind at all times, how will your product visually stand out? This is the most important thing. It doesn't matter how good your product is. It doesn't matter how high quality the product is. It needs to stand out in the search results. So always keep in mind when you're doing product development, how is your product going to stand out in the search results versus the existing competition? On to step 11, order product and packaging samples from suppliers. Now, when you order these, because you've already done the initial stage of getting Amazon competitor samples, you've got a really good specification you can give to the supplier, but also ask them to include some packaging samples as well, because they'll have different options for packaging those products. So getting those actually in hand, you'll be able to compare them and choose which one's going to be the best fit for your product. And by testing and comparing those supplier samples, you'll be able to finalize your product specification. Step 12, choose a brand name, and this can be generic or niche specific. So what do I mean by that? Well, you can have a brand name that doesn't really mean anything that you can use to sell in any category on Amazon, or you might want to have a brand name that is directly related to the type of product you're selling. So it depends what you are selling. Sometimes a niche specific brand name can be super powerful, and then other times not so much. So you need to assess that niche and decide whether a generic or niche specific brand is going to work best, and either is absolutely fine. Step 13, design a logo. You can either do that yourself. If you're not very good with design, you can use a freelancer on Fiverr or similar, or AI is getting very, very good. So you can mock up some logos in AI if you want as well. Just keep in mind, you do want the editable files, and a lot of AIs don't currently provide that. On to step 14, submit your trademark application. So this is absolutely essential. If you're going to be selling on Amazon, you want to protect the brand name you're going to be using so that you can protect your product listings. And I've got a video there that talks you through that. Step 15, design the packaging and product insert. So based on the packaging samples we've got from the supplier, you can now start putting together your custom design that's going to be printed onto that packaging. And also the product insert, which is normally just a small piece of paper that can be your instructions. Try and include some value on that so it doesn't go straight in the bin. And one of the other purposes of the product insert as well is trying to encourage customers to give you product reviews, as they're very important to building your listing on Amazon. Step 16, order final sample from chosen supplier if you need to, if your other sample wasn't good enough. And the reason we want to do this is by getting a final sample with the final packaging and the final branding already, you can then start taking photos and videos of that product, preparing your product listing on Amazon. So while that bulk order is being made out in China, you've got time to do all of those things. If you wait until the bulk order arrives and then get one of those units, you're going to have inventory sat at Amazon while you're trying to get photos and videos of your product. Step 17, order GS1 barcode. So this is the best barcode to use for Amazon. Just go to gs1.org and you can buy barcodes there, and you'll use that when you create your Amazon listing, which is step 18, create your draft product listing with the correct brand and category. So you can update this product listing, and we're going to do this later on in this list, but you need to get the brand and category correct from day one, as they are much more difficult to update at a later date. And I like to use Listing Builder from Helium 10, as it makes it a lot easier to ensure I'm using all of the right keywords, but that is covered in some of the videos I'm going to link to as well. Step 19, negotiate with the supplier. So why have I held off doing this until now? I've already had samples from these suppliers. Well, you might do some soft negotiations to start with, but a supplier will take you a lot more seriously when you've already had samples from them and also you're at the point of ordering. When you can say to the supplier, look, if you can hit this price, I will order today. That is a much stronger position to be in than one or two emails into your exchange with the supplier saying, oh, I need it to be $5 per unit or $6 per unit. They're not going to take you as seriously. And you want to place order for 3 months of inventory. And the reason for this is it's going to take you a good month or so to launch the product. And during those first few weeks, you're going to decide whether you want to continue with it. And if you do, You want to try to avoid going out of stock by having 3 months of inventory, that will give you time to place an order for a second batch while that first batch is still selling through, and hopefully it will arrive in time or shortly after your first batch goes out of stock. You're also going to upload a contract and pay your deposit at this stage. So your contract should outline every single thing you've agreed with your supplier. Do not trust or assume they will include anything you've discussed. It needs to be black and white in the contract. Send that to the supplier and get them to upload it and attach it to the Alibaba trade assurance order so you can hold them to it if for any reason they don't deliver on the spec that they promised. And you'll pay your deposit at that point as well. Step 20, there's a video for this. Apply for brand registries. And the good news is you can do this with a pending trademark. So shortly after you've submitted your trademark application, they will email you an application number, and then you can use this for your brand registry. And they will want some branded sample photos as well. So either take those photos yourself, or if you don't have them to hand, ask your supplier to take some photos, and that should be enough to get through this process. Step 21, download Amazon product barcodes and send to the supplier. So this is your FNSKU. So you've created the listing using the GS1 barcode, and then Amazon will give you your own Amazon barcode, which is an FNSKU. You download this label, you send it to your supplier, and they put this on every single unit. Step 22, when the products are ready to leave China, don't create this too early as they automatically close after 90 days. Create the shipping plan and send the carton and or pallet labels to the supplier and or freight forwarder. So depending on how big the shipment is, if you've got pallets, you're going to have pallet labels. If not, it will just be carton labels. If you're using DDP, you're just going to send the labels to the supplier. If you're using other shipping terms such as EXW or FOB and you're arranging your own freight forwarder, then you're going to send some of those labels to the freight forwarder instead. But for most new sellers, DDP and send those labels to the supplier. Arrange a product inspection prior to dispatch. I always get my inventory checked out in China. They'll come in, look at 100 or so of the units, make sure everything's up to scratch, so that if there are any issues, you can get that resolved in China before the inventory leaves. And also, you haven't paid the balance of the order yet, so you have some leverage over the supplier if they do let you down. Step 25, EORI registration. This isn't required for DDP orders, but if you are using FOB or EXW, that is something you're going to need to do. It's something that doesn't take long, 5-10 minutes, and you will be done. 26, arrange professional photography and or 3D renders. Both are absolutely fine. And this is why you've got that final branded product sample that we spoke about earlier. Step 27, keyword research for the Amazon listing and PPC. Use Cerebro from Helium 10. This video will talk you everything you need to do. Do your keyword research before you finalize your listing and set up your PPC. Step 28, complete the product listing, including A+ content if the brand registry has been approved. So A+ content is basically additional media further down the page. So at the top, you've got your images and you've got your bullet points, and then below that, you've got the description. But once you have access to A+ content, that will replace the description. So make sure any keywords you use in the description, you also use in your A+ content. And that gives you a lot more flexibility with the type of content you have on your product listing. Step 29, pay import costs, shipping, customs, and VAT. So if you've got DDP, you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be taken care of. It's an all-in-one cost to the supplier. But if you're arranging your own freight forwarder, this is at the point that you would be paying those. Step 30, set up 3 or 4 exact match PPC campaigns, 10 to 20 keywords split by search volume. This video will talk you through that as well. And step 31, launch the product at a reduced price for the first few weeks and budget around £5 of PPC per sale. Again, this video will talk you through that full process, how to launch your product on Amazon. Step 32, arrange your first 5-star review after a minimum of 5 sales. It doesn't have to be 5 sales. It can be 2 or 3 sales. Just make sure it isn't your first sale. It's going to be someone you've arranged to buy your product and leave a review, as it's very easy for Amazon to detect that it's a fake review if it's the first sale. And if your friend or contact can leave some photos with that review as well, that will be very, very helpful, as often those reviews get voted most helpful and stay at the top of the list. Next step, track your organic ranks. So all of the keywords that you're targeting with your PPC, you'll put into a keyword tracker. I use the keyword tracker from Helium 10, and then you'll see how your organic ranks respond as you run that PPC. So your organic ranks are where you appear in the Amazon search results. And when you first launch your product, often you're not in the top 300 results. So you have to generate sales with PPC, and then your organic ranks start to improve. This is why we track the ranks of the keywords we're targeting with PPC, so we can see that one-to-one correlation. Is it worth investing in that keyword to get those ranks to improve? Step 34, check and optimize your PPC regularly. You're going to be spending a lot of money on PPC, so you want to make sure you're not wasting money. Next step, check reviews and voice of customer report for any product issues. So if you get a negative review or if you get some returns, which is going to be shown in the voice of customer report, look for any patterns. If you get 1 or 2 people complaining about something over 100 or 200 orders, I wouldn't worry too much. But if you see a pattern, 4 or 5 people returning things for the same reason, see if that is an issue that you can improve for your next batch. Step 36, slowly increase the price. And by slowly, £1 every 5 to 7 days. Don't increase it too quickly. And then if your ranks stick at that higher price point, then you can slowly start to reduce your PPC as well, if possible, and that will help make you more profitable. 37, monitor and protect your listing. So I use alerts from Helium 10. So if someone makes a change to your listing, which is very, very rare, or maybe someone leaves a negative review, you'll get an alert straight away so that you can act upon that. Step 38, order your second batch of inventory. You'll probably make this decision somewhere between 1 to 3 weeks into launching your product. Don't leave it too late, otherwise you're almost certainly going to go out of stock, but also don't order it too early before you actually know if your product's going to work. So trying to find that balance. And just a couple of points to finish off with. Once you start selling on Amazon, you're going to want to purchase business insurance just in case someone manages to hurt themselves or someone else or someone else's property with your product and they're going to try and blame you. And the final step, find an Amazon FBA accountant. A general accountant is no good. I use Link My Books as a connector between Amazon and my accountancy software as it brings through all of the Amazon data in the correct format. And those are the 40 steps. Now, I know that sounds a lot, but you're going to be doing these over the space of a few weeks, if not a few months. So as you do go through it, it shouldn't be too overwhelming. And then on page 2 of this PDF, which is available for you guys to download completely for free, by the way, no email address or anything, there'll be a link in the pinned top comment and in the description. So on page 2, we've got some resources and discounts. So we've got a discount for the FBA Elite course, which this checklist is actually based on, Helium 10 discounts, etc. And scroll down further, you've got those other 9 video tutorials, which are free for you to view on YouTube. And those are related to the play icons that we spoke about earlier. Now, if you're already a member of FBA Elite, which again is completely free, you can sign up to the forums. If you go to the resources section, this has been added at the top here, Amazon FBA for beginners, full step-by-step tutorial for UK sellers. And by the time you're watching this video, the PDF will be uploaded and this video will be integrated as well. Now, if you want to get started straight away, you want to get started with step 6, which is finding your first product. I'm going to pop up a video now and I'll see you guys over there.